So hello everybody, and welcome back to part 2 of the June mid-monthlies. Alright, this live, there is going to be part 3, but this live in particular is going to be for Leo, Cancer, Virgo, and Capricorn. If you want to catch Libra, Sagittarius, Aquarius, or Scorpio, they're in part 1. Alright, those are already ready and recorded, and they're in part 1, and they're time stamped, so you guys can go right to your spots and rewatch those replays. Okay, this one's going to be for Leo, Cancer, Virgo, and Capricorn. Libra, Sag, Aqua, and Scorpio are in part 1. Alright. Just using my Palo Santo. Clearing out the energy. My roommate just had a meltdown trying to find his keys. He was late for work. Clearing out the energy. Alright. So, for these readings, if you didn't catch part 1 and you're just now catching part 2, these readings, they're going to be a little bit longer. Okay, they're going to be a little bit longer because they're mid-monthlies, and I'm going to be clarifying a few things. So, I'm going to be using my archetype cards deck. This is going to let me know where your energy is, and then I'm going to use the wisdom of the oracle cards to give you some insight on how that energy healing is manifesting, right? How it's unfolding. Then we're going to do path 1 or path 2. Person 1 or person 2. Take it however it resonates, right? Or this person or that path, right? However it resonates for you. And I'm going to use the archetype cards for that. So, you know, it could be, like I said, it could be a group, it could be a social setting, it could be a workplace, it could be a family situation, right? It could be anything. So, path 1, path 2, and then I'm going to use my Barberary Tarot in order to give you some insight on that, how that path is unfolding now, right? In the background, whether you can or can't see it, you know, because these paths are happening simultaneously, we're just choosing one, right? So we're going to see how each of them are unfolding. And then I'm going to use my Stargazer playing cards, because I was talking about this in the first one. If you follow Tarot, major arcanas are milestone moments, you know, with our energies and our healing that we can't avoid going through, right? But the minor arcana, or the suits, are choice cards. Right? Those are our free will choice cards. You know, what do we do once we get to these milestones, right? These crossroads, what do we do with them? And so we're going to be using the Stargazer playing cards to ask, you know, with path 1 and path 2, what are the highest good choices the divine would advise you as far as those two paths, you know, moving forward. And then we're going to pull some angel oracle cards and a power thought card. These ones, I believe, yeah, by Doreen Virtue, are my Archangel cards. And then the Power Thought cards are by Louise Hay. Okay? Hey. I know, I'm back too. Alright, so we are going to get right into it for Leo. So McKenna, if you would timestamp Leo for me. Let's go. Let's go, Leo. What is going on? Mid-month check-in for the rest of June. Where's your energy? Where is your energy? Okay. Give me a card for Leo. Alright, so these cards, they have shadow attributes and light attributes. Alright. The shadow attribute is what the universe is moving you away from, and the light attribute is what it's moving you towards, right? What it's transitioning you towards, what it's transforming you towards, okay? So Leo, we got the Avenger. All right? So watch what you have placed planetary-wise in the sign of Leo. because you're feeling this avenging kind of energy. Now the shadow attribute, I'm gonna call it recklessness. Okay, because it says resorting to violence in the name of a cause, but I'm not getting that. I'm getting recklessness. So the shadow attribute, what the universe is moving you away from, Leo, is being reckless or careless, not thinking it through, right? It's great to avenge whatever, but you just can't go rushing in there blind, you know what I mean? You gotta come up with a plan. You gotta come up with a plan, okay? So the light attribute the universe is pushing you towards is a desire. It's this inner desire to balance the scales of justice, righteousness on behalf of, you know, society, greater society, or the self. You know, so there's something, Leo, that you feel balance needs to be restored towards. You know, there's some injustice done. There's a balancing of the scales, you know, so depending on, you know, your Leo placements, where it is in your chart, it could do with a lot of different things, right? But it's this avenging kind of energy where you want to do right by something, right? Leo is in this energy at the end of June where they really want to do right by something, and I guess kind of return what they've gotten. So let's see how this unfolds, right? Wisdom of the Oracle. Listen, Leo, we're in this Avenger energy where you want to balance the scales, right? You want to go after it. You want to do right by it, right? You want to clean the stuff up. You want to clean the stuff up. It's going to work out better than you could possibly imagine. Just know that alignment has a lot to do with things, and there might definitely be some kind of timer on this. All right, whether you realize it or not, I think I'm getting time is of the essence. Time is of the essence, and whatever you're avenging, it's the stuff that dreams are made of, right? The stuff that miracles are made of. It's like right within reach. It's right within reach. You're at the last steps, right? So whatever it is that you want to clean up, the time is totally now. Right? The end of June. The end of June, the last half of June is probably going to be your best bet, right? Because I'm assuming the 30, right? The 30 card, June 30th, I think that's when time runs out. I think come July, it's going to be a completely different animal that you're dealing with. So the best energy you have for this is now, right? Is now. No better time than the present. So, Leo, with that, archetype cards, path 1, path 2, or person 1, person 2, however you want to look at it. All right, path 1, path 2, choice 1, choice 2. What is the energy of choice, path, person? Number 1. What is the energy surrounding path number 1? Okay, background energies. All right. Path number 2. Energies around path number 2. A lot of extra cards, Leo. What is going on? All right. I'm asleep for you. Alright, Leo, so listen, you gotta be careful because your Avenger card came out, and it came out with the Slave card as path number 2. So don't fall into this whole rescuer thing. If somebody's having a hard time making choices on their own and you want to kind of come in and take the lead for them and get them on the right path and, you know, start calling shots like Leo does, you know, bringing the light to it, you gotta surrender with complete trust to the divine for this person, and that's what they're learning. They have to surrender in complete trust to the divine that they will be okay and that they have the power within themselves, right, to manifest whatever it is they're manifesting in order to get them out of cycles and where they feel like they're a slave to life, you know, where they have no freedom. You know, it is not your job, Leo, to be the choice maker for someone who's having a hard time making their highest good choices. Like, maybe you know they make shit choices all the time, and so you want to be the one to make better choices for them and be that person, but just be aware of that, all right? Because this person is learning to surrender to their power of choice, you know, and complete trust that they can make their lives better. And instead, it's almost like you're enabling them to not make it to their transition, right? Because if you're the one providing the light, they can't really harness their own. All right, so just be aware of that. Someone has their own healing path to do, and you might be, you know, feel like a slave to this person, like they're your whole life. You know, they become your whole life because they can't make good choices for themselves, and so now it's like you're a slave to them. So this is, you know, this is the kind of energy I'm getting with path number 2. Now, path number 1, we got child divine. All right, now whenever we get the child cards, anything that has child on it, this is something that goes back to our childhood programming, right? Things that we learned and that we observed about experience in life here when we were young, right? Even into young adulthood, because we're still absorbing, we're still learning about relationships, you know, we're still watching how other adults do it. You know what I mean? So childhood to our young adulthood. Path number 1, the shadow attribute is this person's or this path's inability to defend oneself against negative forces. So this is someone who succumbs to their dark energy, right? They succumb to the negative forces. They quit. They throw their hands up. I quit. I quit is what I'm getting. You know, this is about quitting, because what's the point? What's the point? What's the purpose? You know, healing this divine child. Like, this is like when you look at adults and they grow up and all they do is work and they go home and they're miserable and you're like, what the fuck is the point? You know, so this person or this path, what they're trying to pull away from, right? What this energy, releasing the shadow, what they're trying to pull away from is that pessimism. Right, that pessimism, when they're hit with resistance or the universe smacks them with something, they're just like, all right, fuck it. Boop. I don't need to make an effort. You know what I mean? It's like they're easy to use that excuse as a reason to leave, right? And then they wonder why life is so shitty. Well, it's because they don't stick around to try and work through anything and grow through anything. You know what I mean? So the light attribute, what the universe is pushing them towards, is innocence, purity, and redemption. Suggests a special connection with the divine. You know, so this person, for as much as they quit, right? For as much as they quit, they have a lot to redeem, right? It's about redemption. It's about the comeback, right? It's about the comeback. This path, whatever path 1 is realizing that life isn't shitty, and if you make the effort and you go for it, it's divine. Inner child healing, Leo. There's a part of your aspects that is like, don't be a slave, right? Don't be a slave and feel like you have to righteously save someone because they can't make good decisions. You have an authentic path, a divine path, when you stop quitting, when you make the effort to reconnect to your inner child, that innocence of wonder before life jaded you and you became a slave to karma. Okay? There's a higher path. There's a higher path. Now, I had 2 other cards that fell out of it. And I was told this is background knowledge. So if you're going to heal this, Leo, if you're going to take this path and you're going to heal this, there's more healing that has to be done, because it's more than just being fed up with life and saying, what's the point? It has a lot to do with child orphan, feeling abandoned and discarded, and father energy. So there might be a serious fear of abandoning roles learned by the father or as a father. All right? But there are issues that need to heal surrounding the topic of abandonment and fathers. Whether it's you and what you're dealing with, or what the person who you're cross-watching for is dealing with, within themselves and their own journey, right? Child healing, and seeing how that's mirroring in their adult life, right? This person in this path, if they choose this path, this higher path, right? This is growth. Child cards are growth. There's a whole lot of healing going on. A whole lot of healing going on. And you might find yourself really in the light attributes of this should you take path 1, right? The light attributes are a talent for creating and supporting life, being a positive guiding light within a tribal unit, right? Being that father, leader, I will teach you, man and son, you know what I mean? Teaching the boys like how to be men, teaching them how to do it, that kind of energy. Independence based on learning to go at it alone, conquering the fear of surviving, knowing that you can do it your way. You don't have to do it like, your father. Like, you have a special way to do it, right? You have a special way to do it. And you got to know that you don't need anybody else to do that. You don't need anybody else to do that. This is about conquering your fear of surviving. You know you can survive alone, right? You know you can survive alone. This is not what it's about. This is about maybe partnerships, right? Depending on what placements you're dealing with. Like if you have a Leo and Venus, or if you're, your more feminine placements are in Leo, like your moon. You might be dealing with these things. Not feeling like you got enough, love from your father, or respect from your father, or praise from your father for the good that you've done, that you always had to maybe be more like them in order to succeed, and that's just, not the case. Your path is your own. This is your journey. Your journey is independent from theirs, right? That's what you're learning. You are not your father, right? You are not your father. Even as a female, you are not your father as far as like taking in their negative attributes in relationships and how that mirrors. Because I know, just going on a side note tangent, my father was Scorpio, and I have Scorpio Venus. We love the same, and he was a big giver. He gave endlessly, poured endlessly to my mother, and she was a fucking bitch. You know what I mean? Like, so, it's healing those things that you learn, right? That you learn from your father. Knowing what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. My father was an alcoholic. I've taken that into multiple relationships where I've, dated men or been with men that had alcohol problems. So it's healing all of these things. So if you have, Leo in your chart, I don't. But if you have Leo in your chart, you have those kind of placements. These things are the focus of what's healing for the last half of June, right? The last half of June. So, Barbary Tarot. Let's get some insight on how path number 1 is unfolding right now. What can you expect to see unfold from path number 1 over the last half of June? Total transformation of the self. Total transformation of the self. And I did just like kind of get the hiccups. So it's like you might be having a hard time catching your breath and balancing out the mental, like the airflow, right? The mental digestion of what you might need to do. Person number 1, I mean, path number 1, person number 1, right? There's so much healing in this path. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful path. There's so much healing going on that you literally completely reinvent yourself with the Page of Wands. This is beautiful energy. This is coming into your power. This is being reborn from your experiences, both light and dark, and healing things that were traumatic over your life, you know, or that caused, those lessons caused traumatic events over your life, and now they're finally healing, so those traumas can stop. You know, no more, like no more traumatic experience, like no more, you know, turmoil, upheaval, whatever, like calm, you know what I mean? This healing is getting done. And what you heal within yourself, you heal within your family line. It doesn't just heal your ancestors, it heals your children moving forward, because you're no longer rippling pain from the past. You've healed it moving forward. So path number 1, Leo, as much as this might seem like a bit of a rough ride with all the healing, it is totally fucking worth. Totally worth. Give me some more clarity on that Page of Wands. How is this transformation coming about? Because this is big. Card. Wow. Yeah, you've got to choose it though. We've got the 2 of Swords. You've got to choose it. This is your sunshine. This is your authentic path. This is the light. Path number 1, Leo, if you are considering it. This is the light. It's the seemingly harder road that is the most beautiful road. But you have to choose it. 2 of Swords, you have to choose it. There might be some blood in the water. It might not sit well with other people. You know, you reinventing yourself. People are going to vibe in and vibe out. Like there's going to be a whole lot of chaos for just a little while, you know, while this light starts to set in and readjust and stabilize and bring this healing in so that you can just enjoy your happiness, which is what the sun indicates. Happiness, joy, confidence moving forward, that feeling of being safe in your own skin, safe in your journey, safe on your path. Inner child, lit as fuck. Sun is all about the inner child. Here comes the sun. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun. I said it's alright. Yeah, Leo. You've got a really golden opportunity here in this lifetime right now with this energy come the end of June. You've got a beautiful window. You've got a beautiful window to choose some beautiful healing for yourself, and it'll be so worth it in the end. Alright, give me the unfolding of this slave situation, right? This slave to karma situation. Path number 2, how's this unfolding right now? Towards the end of June. And some insight, Spirit, what can you give us? My angels got jokes. Michael, they talk to me all the time when I'm channeling divine messages with cards. They're always in the background. They're always in my aura. What's going on? I mean it. How's this unfolding? Don't make me call on Gabriel. Right. See, Michael and Gabriel have this thing, and I always call him Michael, right? He's my number one. And so whenever he starts to get fresh at me, I'm like, don't make me call Gabriel, and he'll answer every fucking time, every time. So anyway, you got the Star card. You know, there's healing that's taking place when you detach from this, right? Because like I said, this person is learning how to trust their divine. They're learning how to believe in themselves. They're learning how to create for themselves. They're learning, right? Confidence. These are things that you can't save them from healing. And so the healing is taking place. Clarify the healing for me. Yeah, the Hierophant, and it's coming out in reverse. You know, this is the release of a commitment, you know, that maybe has gone back from previous lives. You know, with the Hierophant, this is a strong soul contract that you feel bound to, right? You feel enslaved by it. You feel bound to it. And it's about releasing it. It's about healing it through releasing it. Healing that karmic cycle that you are in, right? In that path, healing that karmic cycle that you're in by releasing it. That's the only way to break the karma, you know, to not keep living it and being a slave to it. Any other clarification? Yeah, it might be a little bit of a fight to get away from it, actually. And you might consider being able to move away from it a victory. So I feel like this person, you know, anytime I see this card, this Eight of Cups, reminds me of a really toxic female. You know, really toxic female with the rabbit, and it is controlling energy. It's like, I have you. You know what I mean? It's like, I have you. I have control over your mind. You know, and the feminine is the heart space. So it's like, whenever I see it, it's someone having to move forward from a very controlling, you know, female energy that's towering and, you know, like creating this cloud over, you know, your heart space. Yeah, I think, you know, you're the weaver of your own destiny. Yeah, we got the Ace of Wands with the Eight of Wands with the Temperance card and the Seven of Wands. You know, this is about being in a situation where you want a brand new start. You know, when you're a slave to karma, it's like slowly dying. You know, like you might be alive every day, but you don't feel like you're living life. You just feel like you're getting old and you're just living to die. You know, so when you're a slave to something, it becomes redundant like that, and you know that the journey there is done. You start getting this soul itch for something fucking new, right? Something new, and you realize that you create your own reality. You know, the spider, Cupid's arrow is also the Eight of Wands. You know, this is about being the creator of your own destiny and going after what it is you're really connected to at heart and soul. With the Temperance card coming out, you know, this is bringing balance to a situation in a way where you're bringing seemingly useless materials or seemingly useless circumstance and turning it into a golden opportunity. You know, being able to create, you know, being able to walk away from whatever this toxic energy is, and releasing it, right? Releasing it with love, you know, because you wish it nothing but the best. You know, you're going to help, but it's not like you're like, fuck you, you know, I'm not going to be a slave to you anyway. Like, no, it's just releasing yourself from the karmic bind, right? The karmic bind that's there. Not enslaving yourself to the actual experience of that path. And standing up for yourself, right? With the Seven of Wands. It's the best advice the universe can say moving forward. I mean, that's kind of where you're gonna find yourself, where you're gonna feel like you need to stand up for yourself in this new beginning that you want. You know, a party doesn't want to be enslaved by it. So we have my Stargazer cards. What highest good choices, right? What highest good choices would the universe advise you if you want to pursue path number one? Got the Queen of Swords, right? So this is honest to God truth from an emotional level in order to bring clarity. which is required, you know, honest truth from the heart space with all of that healing that's taking place with the different child cards, the father healing and all that stuff, the reinvention of the self. Stay really clear in your communications about your emotions and what you're feeling. You might feel super vulnerable. It might make you super uncomfortable, but as soon as you start to let it out and you realize it's safe, you're going to be just fine. And then you're going to get the Knight of Wands, which is complete momentum forward, feeling inspired, feeling sexual, like feeling all of those things, like, you know what I mean, like the floodgates of love and light have just opened in your life, you know what I mean? You're letting the light in, right? You're letting the light in. You're choosing to let the light in, and it's invigorating. It's invigorating to the soul. It's lighting you on fire. You know, it is absolutely lighting you on fire, like you're ready to take on the world kind of energy. You know, so just go in with that, you know, go in with that headspace that, you know, no matter what this path is, no matter what you might have to leave in order to get on the other one, it is worth. 3 of Pentacles is self-mastery. Path 1 is self-mastery. That's what this lifetime is all about. All right, so path number 2, highest good choices. What can the universe advise you as far as action choices for this path? 5 of Pentacles, abandon it. Queen of Pentacles, or no, sorry, forgive me, Queen of Clubs. This is the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is someone who detaches and manifests better, right? She goes back to her own magic within the self, and she starts to do as she's guided and get in the flow. So you might want to just let this go and focus on manifesting better, right? Focus on manifesting better. Getting into your heart space, getting into your intuition, your own inner magic, and really kind of letting the karma connected to it go. Because there is a difference between letting go of people and letting go of the karma attached to them. There's a difference. Okay, this is about releasing the karma attached to this person or this individual or this circumstance. All right, that path. Let's get into what your angels want to say. All right, let's get into that. Get these out of the way. Angel advice for Leo. Angel advice for Leo. What message above all other messages would your angels like you to receive right now? Archangel Jophiel. She's been coming up a lot lately. Archangel Jophiel is like the archangel of illumination. She's the archangel of optimism and positivity and like, please don't worry about it. You know, this is slow growth. You know, manifestation doesn't happen overnight. Whenever you're manifesting something, whenever you have to go through the healing, there's a process and it takes time. So whenever I see this card, you know, I'm reminded, transformation, with the butterfly in this topiary that's pointing upwards, you know, it's all progress. It's only up from here. You know, when you're at the bottom, it's only up from there. You know, be optimistic. It says your dreams are blooming more rapidly than you realize. Still, they need nurturing and patience. You know, nurturing energy, that ability to reciprocate, right? Which is the big thing. It's not just, it's about giving and receiving, and reciprocating is a huge part of that. You know, when someone gives you love energy in any way, shape, or form, when it's received, truly received, it wants to be reciprocated. In some way, it knows it's going to reciprocate it. It knows it's going to reciprocate it. And sometimes we have to be patient on when those those moments are. You know, sometimes we can't give back the minute that we want to, and the universe is divinely aligning it. So call in Archangel Jophiel. She will be there to assist you in your, you know, in your clear seeing, you know, as far as reassurances that that things are looking up. You know, if you start to notice triangles and things like that, just remember you're in a process of ascending, right? So if you're seeing triangles to the point that you actually notice it, like, yo, I'm seeing a triangle, and you're thinking of this, you know, me saying this synchronicity, it's because the universe, your angels, Archangel Jophiel, is reassuring you that things are still moving up. You're ascending. It doesn't matter if this triangle is pointing up ways or down ways. It doesn't matter. If it's up ways, it's masculine energy. If it's downside, it's a feminine energy. You know, so, but it's reassurance that the 3 is ascension energy. You are solid in your ascension process. The growth is occurring, even if it's slow and you can't see it. Stay optimistic. Stay optimistic and call in your angels as often as needed. All right. Power thoughts. Final message for Leo. That's too many. Give me one, please. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I trust the process of life. Everything grows in its own time. Be patient. Maybe get out in the garden more. Kill some time. Maintain a positive vibration, staying connected with nature, and trust the process. Trust the process, Leo. It is growing, and it will bloom beautifully, and it will bear fruit for you beautifully. There is a rhythm and flow to life, and I am a part of it. Life supports me and brings to me only good and positive experiences. I trust the process of life to bring me my highest good. You know, you're always learning. There's no negative experiences. There's no negative ways to heal, because in the end it's all healing and it's all good. It's always in the highest good. Even if letting go of something like path 2, you know, is painful and it's a process and it's slow moving and you got to get through it, and it's like, oh my God, when is this going to be over so I can be free? Like, just be patient. You work on it a little every day, you nurture it a little every day, you take steps a little every day, and eventually you'll find yourself in a great position to where the karma's gone, but you know, the connections don't necessarily have to fade with it. You can grow with it. Be patient. Be patient with the process. Trust it. Okay? That was Leo. All right. Hey. How y'all doing? Yeah, we're getting into Cancer now. I love seeing all you guys. I love seeing your names pop in here. Virgo is going to be before Capricorn. Alright, so Leo is at the 4 minutes. Let's start Cancer. We'll start Cancer at the 39 minute. We'll start at the 39 minute Cancer. How y'all doing? Okay. Thank you guys for sharing and liking and giving me hearts and all that cool stuff too, by the way. I love you. I love you very much. Alright. Cancer. My fellow Cancerians. I'm a Cancer moon, Cancer rising, so I've got a fuck ton of powerful ass Cancer in my chart. That's why my heart's so damn big. And so are my claws. And so are my claws. Oh. I pity the fool. Who gets me to bring out my claws. Alright. Cancer, where's your energy at? Where's your energy at? Where are you lingering? Sagittarius got God and Cancer got Goddess. I love the universe. I do. Alright, so Cancer. You are in your Goddess energy for the end of June. Goddess energy. Shadow. Don't flaunt your sexy too much. Don't flaunt the fact, Cancer, that you're sexy and you know it. Don't use it to your advantage over other people. You could be sexy, right? You could be totally sexy and in your goddess energy. You just, you know, be humble. Be humble about it. You're going to be making people sweat, you know? Fuck that, make them sweat. That's the Sag in me, like, make them fucking sweat. Alright, Cancer. So, the light attribute that the universe is pushing you towards, expressing that feminine wisdom, your divine nature, your life force energy, your sensuality. This is absolutely being comfortable in your sex, comfortable in your skin, comfortable in the way that you carry yourself, that you exude that goddess energy. That you exude that inner goddess, you know, that you are trusting your sensing, you're trusting yourself, you're acting from your heart space, your self-love, right? Because the goddess energy is self-love through the roof. This is self-love and not being afraid to love yourself through the roof. That's Cancer's energy for the end of June, right? Last half. So, how is this goddess energy manifesting? Wisdom of the Oracle cards. What was that? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Cancer, because you've been on the universe's good list for a while, right? If you've been pouring out love energy, Cancer, and you've been your nurturing, loving self, which Cancer, you know, they represent the home and nurturing and security and safety, and they give those feelings to others. So if they've been putting that out there for a while, it is time for the scales to balance. They're getting a whole lot of love and nurturing coming in from the universe. A whole lot. What else? Yeah. Yin. Goddess energy. Receiving divine downloads, receiving blessings, receiving insight, receiving. Cancer is in a position to receive. You might want to play the fucking lottery. Universe is giving to you this week. Towards the end of June, right? The last couple weeks. What else? Give me one more. Yeah, you're right about the finish line. Whew. Cancer, you couldn't get better fucking cards. These are awesome fucking cards. Finish line's right there. It's like bang. Fucking bang, motherfucker, bang. Receive that, right? Receive that. Cancer is cashing the fuck out on karma, yo. Cancer is cashing the fuck out on good karma. They're right at the finish line. Go a little bit further. Keep doing as you're guided, Cancer. With this reception energy, this balancing of the scales, keep doing as you're guided because it's all balancing every little bit. Do as you're guided. Continue to get that energy. All right? Great energy, Cancer. Great energy. So, path 1, path 2. Yeah. Yeah, you have. You have, Miss Tracy. All right. Path 1, path 2. Person 1, person 2. Choice 1, choice 2. What is going on? Where do we go? Which way do we go? Which way do we go? What is the energy in path number 1? Path number 2. Path number 2 is going to sit there for a second. Path number 1. Shapeshifter. All right, shapeshifter. Now, this path deals with people who project any image that serves their personal agenda in the moment. They will project any image of you that they have to, or any image of anybody else that they have to in any moment, so that it best benefits them. If they're around people that don't like you, they will talk shit on you because those people don't like you, even if they care about you. And around you, they might talk shit on those other people. And little do you know, they're talking shit about you behind your back too. Because they shapeshift. They pick up the energy of who they're around and they mold to fit in. This person doesn't know how to be themselves. They don't know how to have an opinion. They don't know how to have a judgment. You know, this person struggles with this identity. Path 1 deals with the suffering of identity. Okay? Individual identity. Being able to claim the self and say, this is who I am. This is what I believe. This is what I want in life. These are what my goals are. This is what I'm doing. You know, this person or this energy is, I'm going to say, because this is a shadow that they're leaving, right? They're being pulled out of that energy, right? They are on a journey to finding the self, loving the self. So the light attribute is developing a skill at navigating through different levels of consciousness, the ability to see potential in everything. You know, this person is going through experience in order to learn what they do like, what they don't like, you know, and being able to say, yeah, I want to listen to this music. No, I don't like that music. And they're like, really? And they're like, yeah, I don't like it. You know what I mean? Like, they have to get confident in themselves. And so they're, you know, there's reflecting here. I feel like too, with this person's eyes closed and all the different lines, you know, of color going through their head, I feel like maybe their energy is all over the place. I feel like they're maybe super, super scattered. They don't see things the way, or they don't perceive things the way maybe they should. Like, maybe they're so scattered and they're so maybe over analytical, afraid of what people will think of them, you know, afraid of what judgments are going to be passed on them, you know, when they have their own opinion, that they're just, their energy is so scattered. So just know, if you're going to, you know, deal with path number 1, the energy there is extremely static. It's just, it needs balancing, it needs clearing, you know. Yeah, we've got the Page of Cups, and in this one, it's like someone who's just leaking. I get the essence of leaking, right? And it's emotional, and even though there's money there, and, you know, money and love are all tied into the heart space, I feel like because this person is maybe pleasing so many people, they got a lot of hands in their pockets. Like, they might always be going out for a drink after work because they don't want to disappoint their work colleagues. You know, they don't want to not show up because, God forbid, they say no and they're judged. You know what I mean? So you might be dealing with that, but this person might also have a hard time letting you go with the Four of Pentacles, you know, which is how this is unfolding. Like, maybe, you know, this person has healing to do, but they don't want to let you go either because maybe they feel like they can be themselves around you. You know what I mean? It's the closest they get to themselves. Yeah. And the Four of Cups, they feel like they're missing out on an opportunity, losing you. And really, it's just an opportunity that they gain to find themselves, and that's looking at the positive in every situation. So just know that. All right, path number 1, you just might be helping this person heal through observation of the self, you know, for them. Person or path number 2, clarify. You know what, let me just talk to you about this real quick. Got the Vampire card. All right. The shadow attribute is it's a circumstance, right? Because like I said, it could be a group setting, it could be a workplace environment, it could be an individual, it could be a social group, it could be family, okay? This is depleting others for psychic survival, chronic complaining, and codependency. So whoever this is, right, that you're dealing with, Cancer. Path number 2. Path number 2 is your typical narcissistic energy, right? What can I take from you without giving anything? You know, what can you do for me that makes me feel good about myself? Psychic survival. You know, or what can I do to put you down so that I could feel better about myself? You know, psychic survival. This shadow, right? This shadow attribute that the person on this path is going through is healing narcissistic tendencies. And you can see by the black color on this card, it's very deep healing. Right, this is like beyond the root chakra. This is getting down into the dirt of it, right? The light attribute, they're meant to make you aware that someone or something is draining your life force. That is their only purpose. This path is not meant for you to walk. This path is meant for you to see, recognize, and run. Run. Something's draining your life force energy and you can't feed it. You can't feed it, Cancer. That energy's not healed. If that shadow is not healed, you're learning how to run away from it. You're learning how to avoid it. You're learning it's not my circus. It's not my monkeys. That healing is way too deep. That is above my spiritual pay grade. I am just a human. That is above my spiritual pay grade. Let the divine help heal this person. They are only in your life so that you can recognize those characteristics and avoid them moving forward. They are coming in to teach you what darkness looks like, what draining people look like, what draining behaviors look like, so that you can avoid it moving forward. Okay? So path number 1, you're dealing with someone who has scattered energy, who feels like they're missing an opportunity. You know, they don't want to let you go. They've got to navigate through their own mind because they're scattered, right? So I feel like that's going to take patience. We have double 4s with the page. So, you know, super stability, grounded energy, you know, call in your angels for this one with the 4s. The vampire energy, let's clarify how this is going to unfold over the last couple weeks in June, the last half of June. How is this path going to continue to unfold for the remainder of the month? Yeah, you're making the choice. The 2 of Swords. Blood in the water, like you got to choose to walk away. Reinvent yourself without that person draining you. Come back stronger. Yeah, find your strength to close the cycle with the World card. Find your strength to close this cycle. Take the loss in order to get a victory if you have to. You might lose a person that you know, truly do care about, but they're fucking draining, and to get rid of them right now in this moment is a win. They can come back later when they're healed and they're not so fucking draining, right? When they learn to love themselves and not deplete others in order to feel better, right? They vent and 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 bitch and bitch and bitch and bitch and complain and complain and complain, and they accuse and accuse and accuse and blah, 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 everything else. And by the time you're done listening to that person, you're like, I'm so fucking tired. And they feel great. They're all ready to go. Like they got all that shit off their chest, but they do it all the time. You know what I mean? or they do it all the time. Or they're constantly like nickel and diming you. You got $5, you got $10, you got $20. It's like, listen, motherfucker, you are sucking me dry. However this pertains to you, you know, if this is a relationship and they are truly a narcissistic person trying to take up your time and your mental space, they're trying to distract you, they don't want you to be with anybody else, you know, because they want you, like, you need to cut that shit off. They are draining your life force energy. They're controlling your actions, right? They're controlling your actions because you don't want to deal with the repercussions of them. You're allowed to do what the fuck you want. You're allowed to go wherever you want. You're allowed to hang out with whoever you want. You're allowed to sleep with whoever you want. You're allowed to nap whenever the fuck you want. You're allowed to go to work at whatever job you want. You know, you're allowed to do what you want and not have other people drain you. Their healing is theirs, point blank, period. Not your job to save them, not your job to help them. Choose to cut that cord, end that cycle. Be better. Go live better. Be strong. Be real strong and take the loss to get the win. Because that's what it's about. Right now, you might need to cut this person off because that's the only way they're going to heal. They got to lose good people, right? People like that got to lose good people, and they got to lose a lot of good people to realize they need to stop doing what they're doing and behaving the way they're behaving so that they stop losing all the good people in their life, right? And like I said, in this person doesn't prioritize. Just know that. This person is spread really thin. They don't prioritize. So if you're in this person's life and they don't want to let you go, but they can't get their shit together, like, I'm sorry, I'm important. You know what I mean? This is about you healing. I'm important. You don't have time for me. I gotta find time for somebody that has time for me. You know? So don't get caught up in other people too, waiting around on them because they're spread thin or something. It's not your fault they're spread thin and they're putting all their time and energy elsewhere instead of where they really want to put it. They're giving it to all the people that are asking them for it, except the person that they're, you know, is asking for it that they actually want to be with because they put themselves last. So if you're with somebody who puts themselves last, you will always be last, especially if you are what they want because they put what they want last. See how that works? Okay. Stargazer cards. What's the best choices, right? Best choices, actions in regards right now to path number 1. What are the highest good choices that you can make in regards to path 1? 5 of Swords. I'm hearing don't fight it. Don't fight them. You know, the 5 of Swords, one person is the bigger person and they walk away. So when that person is ready to make time for themselves and what they love and you're on that list, you know what I mean? And in the meantime, walk. Let them wonder why you stepped away and why you've been distant. Be like, I'm sorry. I didn't really feel important compared to everybody else you were giving time to. You call everybody else or text everybody else and let everybody else know what you're doing, but I don't. So I walked away. You know what I mean? And this person will learn. Path number 2, what is the highest good choice you can make for path number 2? Vampire energy, 8 of Swords. Get out of your head about them. Don't let them psychically trap you. Right? Because like I said, this person, they will make you feel terrible for them. They are a victim. They need help. Life is happening to them. They don't know what to do. Save them. Listen to them. They've had a terrible day. I just need a friend. That person is distracting you from your life. And you need to get out of the mental web that they've got you all twisted in. Not my circus. Not my monkeys. Not my problem. I love you, but I've got my own shit. And I'm not dumping it all on other people all the time. I'm healing it. I'm moving through it. I'm cutting toxic, life force draining connections. If you have that much to complain about, then you should be doing the same thing. People that complain and complain and complain and complain and blame and blame and blame and make excuses, well, then you've got some life-changing stuff to do, don't you? Right? To that person. You have way too much to complain about. Who are you putting your energy around? Who are you surrounding yourself with? I'm sorry, you gotta raise your energy. You gotta raise your standard of vibration. Not hang out with low vibration people that give you reason to complain and hate life. Fuck those people. Fuck those circumstances. If something gives you a reason to complain every day, why the fuck are you still dealing with it, right? You have control over your reality. Change it. Don't let those narcissistic energies, even if they're not narcissistic, per textbook definition, everybody has narcissistic tendencies sometimes, and they're all triggered to the surface on occasion. So, no one's free from that. Just understand, some people, it's like their code of character, and that's just how they fucking run. That's their child healing, and it's not just a tendency that pops up here or there when they're triggered. This is someone who's manipulative, so just watch. Someone does no wrong in their own eyes. I know when I make mistakes. You know what I mean? If someone can't admit when they make mistakes and they can't take ownership, that's a sure, clear-cut sign that person doesn't know how to take responsibility for the damage they cause with other people, and you're no exception to that. You're no exception to that. Don't get it twisted with narcissistic stuff. Thanks, Dominic. All right. Angel Oracle cards. Cancer. What message would your angels like you to receive for the final half of June? What message would they like to give you? Cancer. Courage. Speak up clearly and loudly. #do. Archangel Ariel. Be courageous and stand up for your beliefs. Don't be afraid to put a narcissistic energy in its place with love and light. Like, listen, I love you, but I can't handle you. Listen, I love you, but I need to focus on myself and my own shit right now. I don't have enough energy to deal with your energy. I'm sorry. Listen, I know you're really busy taking care of everybody else, so I'm just gonna do me. I'm just gonna do me. Right? Cancer. And their goddess energy. I'm just gonna do me. That path has fucking problems that are not my problems. That path has problems that, seriously, I don't have time to hang around for them problems. I'm just gonna sit pretty in my goddess energy and receive the blessings coming to me from the universe when I cut both them paths off. Because when one door closes, or two doors close, another nice big one can open. A nice big one can open. So power thought cards for Cancer. Yeah, my healing is already in process. Back of the card says, my willingness to forgive begins my healing process. I allow the love from my own heart to wash through me, cleansing and healing every part of my body. I know I am worth healing. It's worth it. Forgive your vampire path person. It's just their healing, you know what I mean? It's just their programming. They were designed to teach you a certain way. So forgive them for the triggering part. That's the universe is doing. Divine design. Right? Forgive others that had, that crossed your path in order to teach you whatever way they had to teach you, to learn whatever you had to learn. Healing and cleansing. That's what this whole last bit of the month is. Washing off all that residual stuff so that you can go into July feeling like squeaky fucking clean and ready to go like, oh yes. Got all that off. Feeling light and free and fresh. Yeah. Cancer's in goddess energy for the last half of June. So, Leo done, Cancer done. We're getting into Virgo. Virgo, then Capricorn, and then depending on how I feel at the end, I may or may not do part 3 until the morning. So, we'll see. We'll see. Alright. So, timestamp for Virgo, we're going to do the 1 hour and 7 minute mark. You're welcome, Miss Tracy. Insight's great, isn't it? Clarification, validation is excellent. It is. Alright. I'm just going to clear some of this energy real good. Alright. Virgo. Mid-monthly. Virgo, where is your energy? Let's get a card for you. Where is Virgo's energy? Angel. You got Angel. I don't have any Virgo in my chart. Not any major placements anyway. My Vesta is in Virgo. But if you're cross-watching for a Virgo or you're a Virgo cusp or whatever, your energy is Angel, okay? The shadow attribute of Angel might be acting like an angel to mislead others, falsely identifying or claiming to be an angel. Maybe you're in denial of the fact that you're an angel or that you have angels, right? The light attribute is helping others who need it with no expectation in return. Especially those that have helped you, right? If somebody has given to you and didn't, necessarily get anything back for it and they continued to give to you anyway, you know what I mean? Like, maybe it's time to give like that, give without expectation of anything back. Just give, right? Just give because it feels really good, and that's what June is all about. Being someone's angel, right? Being people's angel in general. Being that light for people. I feel like, because she's holding her arms, like she's going like this, up there. I think maybe you just need to hold somebody, right? Just be their angel. Wisdom of the Oracle. How is that going to play out? Yeah. Woo! Okay. Wow. Virgo, you're asking yourself why you're in a karmic cycle, why you're going round and round in something. You're trying to figure it out, and the healing is there. The answers why are there. You know, whenever the why card shows up, it's Akashic records, it's past life healing, it's childhood programming, it's all that deeper stuff, and, you know, it's putting you in these round and round cycles. And, you know, at the end of the day, when the truth comes out, you know, because the truth be told card is in reverse, and I'm being told to keep it that way. So when the truth be told card, you know, this window of love that floods out and the masks drop and everything opens up, you know, it's being delayed right now, and it's because you need to go through this healing process. Definitely call in your angels. You know, if you have to play more innocent than you are, you know what I mean, then you stop lying to yourself. You know, this is why are you doing what you're doing. If you're a fucking angel, you know what I mean, and you're supposed to be there helping somebody or helping a group or doing something with your life that's angelic in purpose and angelic in vibration, like you're somebody's angel, and I'm feeling like there's no one there, right? They're just holding themselves, and I feel like you're someone's angel this month. And you're like, why am I in these karmic cycles? Because the truth be told, you want to move forward with them. To the sea is about forward movement, and I don't care where we go as long as it's together. That's what this combination is. I don't care where we go as long as it's together. Let's get the fuck out of here. Right? Being that angel, maybe not just, you know, you being that for someone, but maybe they're that for you too. And so you got to ask yourself, you know, why are you in a karmic cycle? When you just want to go with this one. You know what I mean? You just got to let the truth, that loving truth, that emotional vulnerable truth, that angelic healing come from you. You have to let that angelic healing come from you so that you can go take off with the person that your heart really is set for, you know. Virgo's energy. Last half of June. Okay. So, path 1, path 2. Path 1, path 2. Person 1, person 2. Choice 1, choice 2. Behind door number 1, behind door number 2. Virgo, what have we got for you behind door number 1? What is behind door number 1 for Virgo? What is path number 1? Oh, that's kind of sexy. Path number 2. All right. So on one hand, you got this sexy bomb, freedom fighter, advocate, let's grow energy. And on the other side, you have servant and I've got to be a good boy or girl. With the monk nun, you know, you're a servant and all, you know, proper, and I'm getting this vibe of oh God, you've got a cookie cutter path. You've got a cookie cutter path that I'm instantly feeling like, you know, like shoot me now, right? You've got this cookie cutter path where you've got to be on your best behavior, right? You've got to be on your best behavior, and you're a servant to them because the shadow attribute is using a lack of money as an excuse to move on in their life. They don't have enough money to move forward. They don't have enough time to do that. They don't have enough patience to do that. They don't have enough skill to do that. They're using money as a reason to not make progress, right? Or the issues surrounding money as a reason to not make progress. And you're going to have to delight, right? You're going to have to delight in serving them. You're going to have to delight in serving them. Delight in serving them with a free and loving heart. Selfless devotion and single-minded dedication to the commitment, right? I'm hearing the commitment because it says dedication to spirit, but it's a commitment, you know. The shadow is negative judgment of the physical world, you know. Yeah. One path. One path, if that's not you serving them, that might be them serving you. Them being on their best behavior and serving you in path number one. I mean, rather path number two. Take that how it resonates. They might serve you endlessly, right? They might serve you endlessly and love serving you. Absolutely love serving you and spoiling you rotten. Like, that's what they want to do. They're the stay-at-home housewife. You know, they want to stay at home and just be that. But you will always financially support them, right? Because they will never move forward so long as they're serving you and you're happy. You know what I mean? If that works for you, it works for you, but you're going to be on your best behavior. And be selflessly devoted to that connection, right? Selflessly devoted to that connection. Now we have the femme fatale and we have the advocate. All right, we have the femme fatale and we have the advocate. Now the femme fatale, the shadow attribute is inappropriate use of sensuality or attachment to money and power. So, and with the advocate card, embracing negative causes or committing to causes for personal gain, I mean, that could most definitely be someone who's used their feminine nature in order to gain something, you know, this growth and this bubble. Like, this is someone who most definitely either has or could use pregnancy as a trap. Just be really aware of these shadow attributes, guys, because the stuff in the cosmos right now and these moon cycles, like, this is why I'm doing the mid-monthlies, because June's been fucking nuts and July is going to be just as crazy when we get into eclipses. So please keep in mind, when we have these paths, like, you might be a servant to them, but they might be a servant to you, and you might be on your best behavior, but they're on their best behavior, and you're making it work. You know what I mean? It might not be anybody else's standard anymore. You know, this might be a more traditional relationship where the man goes to work, the woman takes care of the house and home. You know, it's a more traditional relationship that maybe society isn't so keen on anymore. Oh, women need to work too. Women need to make money too. They need to earn too. That woman is fucking working. You know, she's keeping the house clean. She's cooking. She's maintaining the kids. She's doing the bills or the errands, whatever. You know, she's doing all that stuff and she don't get fucking paid. So her person is serving her because she's serving him, you know, so it's a equal exchange of service to each other, right? And it's a higher commitment. With this, right, the femme fatale, could most definitely be fatal. I mean, this is a fatal attraction, you know, it could be a fatal attraction. It could be someone who has or would, like I said, embrace a negative cause for, you know, for personal gain. Inappropriate use of the sex because of an attachment to money and power. That's femme fatale. Okay. The light attributes, they're learning how to feel attractive and sexy and not be dependent, right? The heart opens when their dependency is rejected. So when they are not allowed to depend on you, when that dependency is rejected, that's when their heart opens and starts to heal. It's when you stop giving to them, when you stop providing that power and money, right, that they start to heal. light attribute, putting compassion into action, understanding, that consequences have an action, and having compassion for the self, that, if they're going after a certain thing and they're going about it in the wrong way, it's not that they don't deserve what they went after, it's just that they went about it in the wrong way. And they're learning that. This is a person who advocates for toxic feminine energy. That's narcissistic and abusive. You know what I mean? To do something like that. If that's what you're dealing with, Virgo, or someone that you're dealing with, right? You might be dealing with someone in your space who's possibly, trying to get pregnant for money and power, right? When it comes to the family, when it comes to their position in life. Just be aware of that. There's a really good I'm feeling like a really good opportunity of even give and take here. Selflessly devoted to each other and the cause, right, that you're creating, the life that you're manifesting. It's that cause. It's selflessly dedicating yourselves to that, right, with each other. This energy, like this, they have each other's backs. You know what I mean? They serve each other. They have each other's backs. They're almost one and the same. Like Siamese twins. They're connected. Let's just get clarity on these. Give me the insights, please. How path number 1. Femme fatale, advocate energy. Path number 1. How is that looking for the end of June? How's that unfolding? Insight for our Virgos. Yeah, you gotta cut this shit out. Wow. Got the Page of Swords with the Ace of Swords. This could be petty communication, like on social media or texting. This person might not be able to hold a conversation much. They might always be on their phone. But either way, there's truth and communication with the Ace of Swords that needs to come in. And this one in particular, it's got a fire-breathing dragon all up on the handle. Like, when this truth drops, I think you're anticipating cutting energy, because the way she looks, she's like, what you fucking say to me? She's got the knife drawn. Like, excuse me? She's basking in her light, right? Femme fatale. She's basking in her light, and she's looking back at you like, excuse me? Truth be told, judgment. Awakening, rising out of the depths of hell, right? Resurrecting into the light. Being reborn, being awakened out of the darkness. This person only wakes up, right? This person only wakes up when their dependency on you is rejected. This person only wakes up and can get out of the hell that they're in karmically when you reject them. They might not like it. But if it's in their highest good, it's in their highest good. It's what they signed up for. It's what they signed up for. Unfolding, path number 2. We got the Queen of Swords. Got the Queen of Swords. This is someone, right? The feminine, the queen, emotional clarity. This is someone who's thinking and feeling clear. Someone who communicates how they feel clearly. Regardless of circumstance, right? Because you're never going to guess how this person feels. You're never going to guess. This person will always tell you how they feel. Always. You won't even have to ask. You'll be able to tell. Their emotions are so clear on them. They can't hide their bad mood no different than they can't hide their good mood. You know what I mean? Any other clarifying cards? Yeah. Oh, we got the counterparts. King of Swords. Right? Got each other's back. I got you. You got me. We got the King and Queen of Swords. Virgo, this might be your person. Like, legit. Seven of Swords and Five of Cups reversed. I feel... because the Seven of Swords is about deception, self-deception, and the Five of Cups is about... looking at the glasses that are spilled instead of what's still full. So just know, with this right now, I think you might be deceiving yourself if you think it's over. And there's nothing left to salvage, because the Five of Cups in reverse means there's still love there. There's 2 cups left. The Two of Cups, right? That soulmate connection. That divine balanced connection within the self that manifests your divine counterpart. Just know that when the truth comes out and all communication's on the table, all clarity has been received, the Two of Cups is still there. This is your divine counterpart, Virgo. If that's the question you were asking about, you know, this path or that path. Someone has your back and you have theirs. And it could definitely work, you know, letting yourself be vulnerable to whatever the truth is, right? Whatever truth that needs to come out in order to salvage this. Because the King of Swords, you can see in this, you know, she's very all up green, and her heart space energy, heart chakra energy, like I said, communicates very clearly from the heart space. The King of Swords is different. The King of Swords is contemplating. He overanalyzes, he weighs all the pros and cons of everything, and he likes to make firm, solid decisions. So this counterpart, right, especially the masculine in the relationship, might be the one that has to maybe rectify it, because I think he knows. I think he knows that this is his person, you know, that he can trust her, that she'll always be honest, right? He'll never have to guess what she's feeling. He could just talk to her. You know, she has his back no matter what, and it's just a matter of kind of communicating that, right? And kind of dealing with any past pains and bringing it to light in order to heal. Okay? For the end of June. Best choices. Stargazer cards. Best choices Virgo can make in regards to path and person. Number 1. What is the highest good choice you can make? That's way too many. Okay, come on. What is the highest good choice? All right. 3rd time's a charm. Path number 1. Thanks. 7 of Wands. Stand your ground. Stand your ground with path number 1. If you feel like this person is taking advantage of you, if you feel like this person is too dependent on you, and you know that they're only free and they're going to go through this healing when you let them go, cut it off and defend yourself. Right? 7 of Wands. Stand your ground. Just has greed and personal gain written all over it, and this person has to learn how their choices affect other people, and they have to heal within themselves. So stand your ground with them. What is the best course of action or choice that can be made for path 2? Oh, 10 of Cups and 10 of Hearts. That's your emotional fulfillment. That's your boo-boo right there. Give them all your love. Give them all your love. That's the best choice you can make. Virgo, I'm rooting for you for path 2. Alright, with that said, let's get some angelic guidance, shall we, for Virgo? For the end of June. Yeah, it's your job. It's to take the lead, teaching and learning. That's what you're doing. Virgo, you're taking the lead in your life. You're choosing a new direction. Archangel Gabriel, you know, we got Archangel Zadkiel, you know, you're teaching, you know, your femme fatale advocate energy. You're teaching them and you're learning. You know, this is a shift in perspective. You know, Archangel Zadkiel helps oversee the Akashic records and things like that. So keep an open mind and learn new ideas, then teach these ideas to others. There's a better way. You know, when you decide to take a better way, you're going to teach others that there's a better way. You're taking the lead. It's time for you to assume your leadership power and position and lovingly guide others by doing it right. You know, taking your highest good choices. When you act from a place of self-love, even if that ripple hurts, right, or triggers other people, because that action was taken from a place of self-love, they're only going to receive healing that they're going to be able to use later in their life to attract love. That ripple will always come back. That ripple never stops. So, you know, don't worry about what you're leaving behind. Look at all that you're gaining. Look at all that you're gaining, and whoever is learning from you, they're going to appreciate you as their teacher later in life. You know, when they look back, they're going to just say, you know what, I'm really glad that, you know, you cut me loose because I learned how to do this and appreciate that, and my life has changed now and I owe it to you. You know what I mean? And there's no better moment than something like that. So, last card. That one's jumping out at me. Freedom. It's about your freedom. It's your divine right. It's your divine right to be free. Back of the card says, I am free to think wonderful thoughts. I move beyond past limitations into freedom. I am now becoming all that I am created to be. I just had that, was it Calvin Harris and Rihanna? Baby, this is what you came for. Lightning strikes every time she moves. And everybody's watching her. But she's looking at you. Sorry. That song's gonna be stuck in my head now. But it's the truth. You know, if someone hits you like lightning and that's what you're meant to, that's who you know you're meant to be with, that's your counterpart, like, go for that. You know, don't feel obligated to somebody who's just controlling with their own pain body, you know, the circumstance. Don't let those energies control your life, because they will. They'll just drain you. And they'll just watch you be drained. They'll just take, they won't learn. So, you know, when you do yourself a favor, you don't even realize how much you do other people a favor. Alright. Capricorn. We will start Capricorn at the 1 hour and 34 minute mark. One more good shuffle in this deck for Cap. One more good one. There we go. Alright. Capricorn. I'm going to say, where's your energy? It flew right up. Engineer and beggar. What's going on, Cap? Because we've got a lot of wheels spinning. God knows there's a lot in the cosmos going on with Capricorn sign right now. All right, shadow attributes. Dependence on others to the exclusion of effort. Reliance on mechanistic solutions without regard for emotional consequences. Okay. This is like healing the reptilian brain. All right, Capricorn. A part of the energy that's being released, or that's you're being pulled away from, is depending on other people to do the work for you, so that you don't have to. If you don't have to do the work, you don't want to do the work, you can't find any joy in bringing the work, you're like, fuck the work. So you're banking on others to hold your weight, right? To hold the weight. And not necessarily having any emotional regard for how the solutions to some of the problems that maybe are created affect others, and it's not phasing you, right? It's not phasing you. And it's not necessarily fair, you know, if the things that are going on are affecting others and, you know, it's taking their energy, like maybe you're being really lazy at work and you've been putting it on your, you know, your coworkers, and they're just looking at you like you're fucking dead weight now, you know. It's okay if you have a lazy day, but a lazy week, like, you know what I mean? They're starting to get a little frustrated with you. With the shadow attributes come the end of the month. So the light attribute that the universe is pushing you towards is pushing you to be creative with your practical energies. You know, be creative with your talent for designing solutions, you know, to common problems. Like, listen, well, if that's the problem, why don't we just fix it that way? And everybody's like, oh, that's a great idea. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of thing. Like, you have a knack for that kind of stuff. It's just redirecting it in a positive way. The light attribute of beggar is confronting empowerment at the physical level. It awakens the spiritual authority of humility, compassion, and self-esteem that you can go get it. To go from being a beggar to a go-getter. From going from not making enough effort and putting it off on other people to putting forth the proper effort. And not everything, you know, because with the engineer card, it's reminding you not all work has to be fucking hard. There are solutions to make the job a lot easier. You don't have to run yourself into the ground to make a lot of money. You can be extremely innovative and learn how to effectively and efficiently use your time and energy to create abundance in your life, or whatever it is you're creating, right? Get creative. Stop, you know, putting things off on other people's. Allow yourself to get creative with your work. You know, if this is a relationship, if it's not work related and this is a relationship and you're banking way too much on your partner and you're trying to find solutions without any regard for them, and I think they might start to get pissed about that. You know what I mean? And confront you about it. So let's see how this is unfolding. Forward movement. And time for a break, right? You got time for a nap. I think you're overworking your mind a bit. And observe. Yeah, if you want to move forward, Capricorn, listen, if you want to move forward, just take some time to detach and rest. Rest your mind. Stop trying to find solutions. Stop trying to have your wheels spin. You know, are they getting it done? Because I'm not getting it done. Will it get done? You know, is there a better way? Like, just take a break. Maybe get away for the day. Maybe don't plan it. Just do something spontaneous. Just take a break. And observe. You know, watch the universe. You can see there's 2 foxes on these cards. It's kind of cool. It's like one's down here looking up at the moon, and there's the moon, right? And there's a fox sleeping on the moon. So it's almost like, you know, the universe is kind of pushing you forward. And maybe you're looking for a dream out there when the answer's been within all along. You've been looking at yourself, you know, in the mirror. And I think that's exactly what you're doing. I'm thinking you're seeing yourself in the mirror, maybe being lazy, and maybe needing to make the, you know, the steps forward and whatever. And, you know, there's more that you can do. There's a better way to do it. There's an easier way to do it. Bottom line, there is an easier way to do what you're trying to do. And the reason why you don't want to do what you want to do is because it's too much effort in your mind. And if it's too much effort and you can't get it done, but you know you still want to get it done, then there must be a better way. Just meditate on it. Meditate on it. Ask the divine to help you out with some guidance. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, I have my Neptune in Capricorn. So, Neptune is all about, you know, illusion and breaking through the veil. And it's in my house ruled by Capricorn. It's in my 7th house of partnerships. I swear to God, I was always meant to be single. For like my whole life. Getting through the deep illusions. House of partnerships, like Jesus. What did I sign up for? And I agreed to that cosmic resume, right? Alright, so path person number 1. Path person choice, whatever, number 1. Really? Alright, that card wanted to stay out. Got the warrior and we got the fool. Alright, 2 separate paths. Warrior. Path number 1. Shadow attribute is trading their ethics or morals for victory at any cost. Indifference to the suffering inflicted on others. This is someone who wants to win no matter what. If someone placed a bet with them, they will win that fucking bet, even if it crushes somebody. Okay? So the shadow attribute is someone who would win at any cost. The light attribute, this person, strength, skill, discipline, toughness of will, heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice, and conquering the ego. This is what this energy is healing. Okay? Going from realizing how that energy, right, that drive to win could be used instead of like for tasks or for certain gains in the 3D. They could put that kind of drive and that kind of will towards their healing, right? Towards their healing. Refocusing that energy, refocusing it towards something more conducive to why they're actually here, right, in this life. Now, path number 2, we have the Fool. Now, the Fool card, this is someone who will laugh and say, I'm fine, you know, or they'll make a jab, like they'll roast somebody, like a comedic roast, you know, in order to liberate, you know, the mood, or you know, this is someone who's in denial of their emotional truth. Someone who puts on a happy face, but that is really crying inside. You know, so path 2, the light attribute is fearlessly revealing emotion, helping people laugh at the absurdity of hypocrisy. Right. So, one path, someone is willing to win even at your expense. And I think there's certain qualities, Capricorn, that you maybe, you know, admire about this person. And so to walk away from them, like their energy isn't good enough for you, it's like an ego trip. Like, no, they're way too, I can't walk away from them. I can't disconnect from them. Like, they're this person. And Divine's like, yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. Take what you need to learn and go. You know? Yeah, and I'm getting, very fixed energy. So it could be dealing with a fixed sign. Fixed sign, yeah, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. Sorry, I'm like holding this up reading it. I don't even know what you guys are seeing on the camera. I'm in my own zone. Part 2, and we're at the end, guys. Yeah, I think path 2 is the one you really want to take, to be completely honest. And I think maybe you do feel foolish wanting it, because like you see how much, you know, you've maybe put into this path, or how much is required of this path, and it's like you're determined, right? You're determined to win. Or maybe somebody else is determined to win, you know, and they're determined to force you down this path, right? When really you just kind of want to not. You know, it's like I'm feeling like this miserable energy. Maybe a part of you wants to fight for something. Maybe a part of you wants to sacrifice your ego and do something good for somebody, you know, not because you're indifferent to their suffering, but maybe because you want to heal it, you know. And this path is putting on a happy face, but you gotta deny the emotional truth. In order to get out of path 2, you would have to fearlessly express the way that you feel and be really vulnerable, right, in order to shift path number 2. I can't stop yawning. I think Capricorn might be tired too, like, of dealing with this kind of stuff. I think path number 1 is going to teach you self-sacrifice and conquering the ego. It's going to teach you discipline and strength, right? It's going to teach you how to put that drive towards the highest good. The second path is going to teach you how to express yourself emotionally, because you're going to be unhappy on the inside, no matter how happy you look on the outside. So, alright. Path number 1. How's that unfolding over the end of the month? Yeah, you're being taught. Yeah, you're being taught. Okay. So the warrior path, right? The warrior path, where you're learning how to self-sacrifice and you're learning how to conquer your ego, right? When you're not trading ethical principles, right, for victory, to not sacrifice your integrity, your soul's integrity at its most innocent, you know, its most purest form, In order to get what you want. You know what I mean? You can't, you're learning how you could stay moral and you could stay, you know, inside that integral part of your being, you know, that solid part of your being that is light, and put that drive towards something better. Now we have the Queen of Swords come back out again. So again, emotional truth. This is mirrored in both paths, so it's something you're probably going to have to face no matter what. Capricorn is dealing with the emotional truth of what is keeping you stuck, you know, who has their tendrils. You know, these are roots, but they're all coming out of his back. It's like, who, I just got this energy of who has their tendrils in you, because he's leaning forward, but he can only lean so far because all those roots are holding him back. So I think there's this truth that needs to come out with this warrior path about your burdens, and, you know, giving some perspective and getting some new perspective on how to deal with that. Knowing that you're the creator of your own universe, that the devil does not control you, and that you don't have to miss out on opportunities. Right, you don't have to miss out on opportunities, because I think if you took this path and you were seriously sad inside, it's because you kind of secretly want to go the warrior path. You know, you do want to conquer the ego, you do want to help others, you do want to be able to emotionally connect to others and feel good that way. You know, it's a totally different feeling when you're helping detached versus when you're helping attached. You know, it's knowing how to attach and detach in your highest good. So give me some insight on how the Fool path is unfolding should you choose to walk the path of the Fool. How is that unfolding? Give us some insight. Yeah, you're gonna end up choosing the other path anyway. So you could take the long way and take path 2 before you take path 1, but at the end of the day, we've got, you know, reuniting with what feels like home, you know, the end of struggle to the internal conflict within the self, you know, the inner child healing, and choosing with the Lover's card a soulmate before time runs out. Going and getting it before the time runs out. You know, taking those action steps and moving forward, sacrificing the ego, because maybe, you know, you have a lot of pride, and that's why maybe you're stuck in path number 2, and, you know, despite the fact that you're unhappy, because path 1 is where you actually want to be. So, you know, as this continues to unfold, I think you're going to end up seeing that you do want path 1 anyway, even if you take path 2 because of obligation or pride or judgment or whatever. You're gonna end up going back to path 1. So, all right, that's the way I'm feeling it. Let's just clarify that. What's your highest good action, highest good choice concerning the warrior path? If you could make any choices now towards that path, and the highest good of all, what choice would that be? 4 of Swords. Yeah, just take a break right now anyway. 4 of Swords, like this gung-ho stuff, like just recoup. Choose to recoup. Oh wow, we got 2 more 4s that just flew out for the Fool card. We got the 4 of Wands and the 4 of Pentacles, and I think that's what you're torn between. So we got 4, 4, 4. Call on your angels. Call on your angels. They're taking you to the same destination, right? So you have this 4 of Swords break that you need before you partake on the warrior one, because you're obviously going to need your energy for it. And I think that, you know, this 4 of Pentacles, I think you're holding on to the twin flame relationship. You're holding on to the twin flame energy, and I think that's why you're recouping your energy before you go into warrior mode. I think because you don't want to miss out, right? I think you don't want to miss out and be unhappy. I think you know that's your path. I think you know it's the way you're going. Yeah, you're dropping it like it's hot. Leap of faith. You're getting rid of it. You know, we got the Joker and the Fool. It's the same card. They're clarifying themselves. You're letting the shit go. You're taking a leap of faith on it. And letting that go, and going for what your soul is passionate about at the end of the day. You're going to follow what your soul is passionate about. Alright. angelic guidance. Capricorn, what message would your angels like you to receive for the end of June? Counselor, someone needs your ear. Archangel Azrael, you're a natural counselor, and many people benefit from your guidance and reassurance. I think with this energy, when you find the will to sacrifice your own ego, when you put that discipline and strength forward, you're going to be able to help a lot of people. I think you do have this gift, right? This gift, Capricorn, that they're mentioning here for really understanding people, you know, because you've been through it. You've been unhappy. You've worn the mask. You've put on the facade. Put on the happy face. And it sucked, and maybe you felt like nobody understood you, and that's why you would be an excellent counselor for somebody else who might also be in this situation. You might be able to connect to a friend who's maybe dealing with that same kind of energy, be an ear for them and give them advice, because you're going to realize how that advice mirrors for you, that you could take your own advice, right? When it comes to that kind of stuff. I'm just hearing call on the divine to you. You know, Archangel Azrael helps the transition between life and death. So when we're going through these ego deaths, right, in life, when we're going through these ego deaths where we let these old realities that we've created go in order to reinvent the self and reinvent these new realities, we need angelic help, right? We need angelic help. We got 444, and we've got Archangel Azrael to help you with the transition as you go from your old life to your new one. You know, your old reality to your new one, your sad reality to your happy one. You know. One more card for Cap. Tower Thought cards. Give me one. Give me one. Like, oh, I'm tired. Come on. Give me one. Thank you. 2. Fine. I'll compromise. Alright. Yeah, I now go beyond other people's fears and limitations. Don't worry about what other people think of you if you move on from something. Don't worry. Don't limit yourself either. Back of the card says, it is my mind that creates my experience. I am unlimited in my own ability to create the good in my life. It is my mind that creates my experiences. I am unlimited in my own ability to create the good in my life. You don't have to ask permission from anybody to go live your best life because of whatever other people think. You know, they thought you were so happy. Everything seemed so good, and you just up and left because secretly you were miserable. Yeah. That kind of stuff happens, and people deal with it all the time. They get through it, they live, and they end up happier. Go beyond what other people's fears and limitations are. And don't worry about your money. My income is constantly increasing. When you align yourself with better energy, when you align yourself with higher vibe people, you'd be surprised. Back of the card says, I begin now, today, to open myself to ever-increasing prosperity. When one door closes, another door opens, and sometimes that new door has a bunch of cool stuff in it. Just saying. Just saying. Don't be afraid to take the warrior path. Hell yeah. With that said, guys, I'm going to wrap up part 2, and I'm probably going to call it a night because I am super tired. So I will do Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Pisces in the AM. Until next time, guys, love and light, love each other always, and follow your fucking gut. Call on your angels, follow your guidance. Always. Right, I always let people know. And something that helped me a lot when I first started, remembering, new affirmations. Talking to my angels, talking to my highest self, God, whatever you call your higher. Have that conversation, whatever you would have me do, whatever you would have me say, wherever you would have me go. If it's in the highest good of all, so be it. So be it. Whatever you would have me do, whatever you would have me say, wherever you would have me go, if it's in the highest good of all, so be it. So be it. And just leave it at that. Till next time, guys. Bye.